You're grinding 9 to 5 and juggling side gigs, but your bank account, it still feels empty. But here's the truth, it's not your income that's the problem. Wealth comes from a simple roadmap. And you wanna know the good news? It's one that anyone can follow. Hello, I'm Jonathan from Parent Portfolio, and trust me when I say this, you don't need to be rich. You don't even need to be good at math, and you definitely don't need a finance degree to build real wealth. When my wife and I started our marriage, we had over $250,000 in debt. We were working full-time jobs, raising kids, and just trying to do anything we can do to stay afloat. But over time, we figured out a very simple system that turned our financial mess into $1 million net worth. And in this video, I'll pull back the curtains and show you what we did so you can do it too, no matter where you're starting from. So let's start with the basics and the most avoided step, knowing your numbers. This is where most people get stuck. It's like trying to use a GPS without knowing your current location. You can't move forward unless you know where you are right now. So here are the 3 numbers that changed everything for us. First, our yearly net income, what we actually took home after taxes. Second, our yearly expenses, not guesses, but real numbers from bank statements. And the third, the difference between the two. Were we running a surplus or living in a deficit? I still remember the moment when my wife and I ran the numbers. We were making decent money for sure, but we weren't really keeping much of it. No real plan, no margin, no freedom. That's when we decided to track every dollar. We started categorizing our expenses, groceries, subscriptions, random Amazon buys. It was humbling, but eye-opening. And when we calculated our net worth, the assets minus liabilities, we were in the red. But when we started tracking everything, it gave us hope. Every month that crept in a little closer, we got closer to zero, into the positives. The momentum that we had, we just kept on going. So money isn't just math, it's mindset. And for a lot of us, the way that we handle money today is shaped by how we grew up. I was raised by a single mom who stretched every dollar. That taught me how to survive, but not necessarily how to grow. Even when I started making more, I had a scarcity mindset that told me that money could disappear tomorrow. Meanwhile, my wife, who is the planner, she thrives with spreadsheets and structure. I'm more of the big picture dreamer. That almost created friction between us. But once we learned our strengths, instead of fighting them, our finances took off. So you see, your money plan has to match your money personality. Whether you're a spender, saver, a minimalist, or a treat yourself type. Acknowledging that helps you build a system that actually sticks. So let's talk about debt, because we've all been there. Me and my wife, we had over $250,000 in debt, and it was suffocating. Student loans, credit cards, you name it. But what we used was the snowball method. We started off with a small debt first and paid it off one by one. It wasn't the most efficient on paper, but it gave us fast wins and the momentum we needed to continue. We also stopped carrying credit cards. We limited our number of credit cards to just a few, and we paid off the balance full every month. And we stopped pretending like a minimum payment was progress. And here's something most people overlook. You ready for it? Paying off debt is a guaranteed return. If your credit card interest is 18% and you pay it off, that's an 18% return. Try finding an investment that consistent. And debt freedom, that was the thing that turned us around. We wanted that freedom, so we paid off our debt. It gave us margins, it gave us options, it gave us confidence. Once we had a little breathing room, we started asking a bigger question. What are we actually working towards? It wasn't just more money, it was freedom. It was time with our kids, less stress, owning assets that could pay us back, building something we could pass on. So we got specific. We wrote out our goals, things like build a 6-month emergency fund or pay off a non-mortgage debt and own 3 rental properties in 10 years. And we gave those goals a deadline. That's what turned our dreams into a plan. Because if it's not on the calendar, it's just a wish. Now, here's the part most people skip: budgeting. But we didn't call it a budget. We called it a money map. We mapped out our entire year. We projected our income, planned for big expenses like holidays and school supplies, factored in birthdays and vacations, and still made room for unexpected stuff. Then we checked in every single month using a zero-based budget strategy, which is kind of like you give every dollar we earned a job, saving, giving, investing, or spending, and left nothing floating, meaning there was no unassigned dollar. That's how we move from living a paycheck to paycheck mindset to paying ourselves first. It gave us control, and it gave us a peace of mind. So this is where a lot of people get overwhelmed: when to save and when to invest. And here's the order that we followed. We saved 1 month of our expenses first. That was our quickest safety net. Then we got serious about paying off all our debt minus the mortgage. After that, we split our focus. We put part of our money towards building a full emergency fund, and we put the other part towards investing. To be honest, investing intimidated me. I thought I had to be an expert, but what we did was we started small and we used index funds. Once we saw compound growth through our actions, we became hooked. So the earlier you start, the more time does the heavy lifting. Every year that you delay is a year of freedom lost. When it came to big purchases like cars and houses, we made a decision early on. We wanted to own things, not owe things. We bought our cars in cash, not because we are rich, but because we didn't want payments hanging over us. And if you're going to finance, don't focus on the monthly payment, focus on the total cost. Same with housing. We didn't rush to buy just because that's what adults do. We rented longer than most of our friends. And when we bought, we made sure it aligned with our goals, not just our egos. We asked, will this move help us towards our financial freedom or trap us in stress? That question saved us from major regrets. So if you're still watching, I hope this video helped you and realize something very important. Wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how intentional you are. So you've seen how we did it. We got clear with our numbers. We paid off our debt with a real strategy. We built a system around money personality, and we made a plan instead of wishes. We used a 12-month money map to guide our year, and we knew when to save, when to invest, how to make big purchases with peace and not pressure. And let's be honest, none of this happened overnight, but it did happen step by step. And now it's your turn. If you're ready to stop feeling stuck and want to start building wealth on your own terms, please apply to our financial coaching program where we can design a plan to help you reach your goals. We'll build a personalized plan and we'll track your progress while eliminating the guesswork. So if you're interested in applying, click the link in the description below. Spots are limited, to be honest, but we would love to help you and map out your own journey to financial freedom. And if you thought this video brought you value, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. We appreciate everything you've done. Thank you for the support, and let's build something better together.